Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at that sexy new UI. Just look at it. That is looking nice. Smite getting an update. I am KageKaze, and we are here to look at Tyr the Lawgiver. But just before we move on, let me take a minute. Just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the Prince of... we'll take a look at some of these golden skins, because I would like to point something out here. Cupid disturbs me. He's gotten a gold skin treatment, and those big blue eyes freak me out a little bit. Okay, alright, let's move on. We're looking at Tyr the Lawgiver, the latest physical melee character who is a bruiser, who's got some fairly interesting mechanics. He is the second god in the game to have a stance switching mechanic. The difference being that his swapping mechanic is not his ultimate, so he still has that. So we'll take a look at that. This is Tyr in his normal form, and then there's Tyr in Dark Judgment with a few purple highlights and some green baubles. Very nice. So Tyr, what makes him special? Well, this, first and foremost, Unyielding is Tyr's passive. Stuns, taunts, fears, mesmerizes. Cannot affect Tyr for longer than 1 second. Yes, this will be the anti-CC god. So he cannot be held in place by the likes of Emir with his, 2 point whatever second freeze. So yes, Tyr can avoid CC. That is an amazing passive. Its power is hard to measure, really. It means that Tyr will be most effective against hard CC teams, but it still has usage on teams that may not have a lot of that. So his power will be kind of variable just by this alone. So I'm going to skip over to number 3, the third ability, because this is really the bread and butter of what makes Tyr work. This is his stance change. And just like Hell, you put points into it and it affects the passives that you get. But it also has a cooldown on it, unlike Hell. So since Hell's is an ultimate, you can switch back and forth at will pretty much. With Tyr, you've got, as you can see, a 15-second cooldown going down to 11. So you switch between assault and guard stances. And switching stances refreshes the cooldown on your first 2 abilities. So it's very useful if you want to go and put out a whole bunch of moves at once. You can use your change stance ability. You'll lose a little bit of power or protections based on what you were trying to do at the time. So with Assault stance, you are given raw physical power, starting at 10, moving up in increments of 10, up to 50. With Defense, you start out with 8 protections, and that goes up in increments of 8, it looks like. So you got 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. So not as much protection as physical power, but enough to make you decently tanky at the beginning, and if you put points into it right away. So looking at Tyr's abilities, we'll start with Fearless. This is a line attack. You dash forward, damaging enemies. In your assault stance, you will push the enemy along with you, and you'll hit them twice and knock them into the air. Now this ability is fairly unique in that the attack animation happens whether or not you hit something. So if you want to get the most out of Fearless in assault stance, you have to be very close to an enemy god. You can't try and hit them at the edge of the dash. Otherwise, you're only going to hit them once anyway. If you hit him at the beginning, you get the initial hit, and then the second hit does the knockup. And yes, you do get the power of this ability twice from doing that, so damage is 290 plus 50% physical power at maximum level. In guard stance, you'll hit only once, and you'll pass through all enemies and you'll knock them away. Think of guard stance Fearless almost like Apollo's The Moves, where he dashes along the ground. Now the difference here is that Tyr's Fearless is basically a move that doesn't increase his movement speed, at least not that I could tell. He moves pretty much straight forward as if he were running straight forward, charging. He doesn't gain any CC immunity, so he can be hard CC'd out of it. Now he's only CC'd for 1 second per his passive, but that means he's very vulnerable when using Fearless. Power Cleave is the second ability. You make a massive melee attack swing that hits all enemies in a 180-degree cone. So this is, from what I can tell, the widest hitting conal attack in the game, full 180 degrees in front of you. In assault stance, if an enemy has been knocked up, they will be knocked away. This is a perfect combination to use with assault stance. Fearless. Charge forward, hit the enemy twice into the air, hit them with power cleave, you'll knock them back. The running and the cleave together have a very long range movement that you can push an enemy god down a lane fairly far. So if you are a tier and you come up behind an enemy, you might be able to reasonably push a god into a tower if you can catch them unawares. With guard stance, instead of getting a knockback component, you get a heal. It will heal tier for each enemy hit up to 3 enemies hit. Now, the damage of this ability is 270 plus 80% of your physical power, so compared to Fearless, which is 290, you'll see that it doesn't have as high of a base damage, 270 compared to 290, but it has a much higher contribution, 80% compared to 50%. So Power Cleave will start off average, a little weaker, but your in-game Power Cleave is where a lot of your raw damage is going to come from. And it will hit hard. Even in defensive stance, you just lose the 50 attack power from your stance change. With you get healed, you get 90 plus 15% physical power. So it is a light heal, but it should be enough to keep you on your feet. Cooldown on this ability is down to 8 seconds at maximum level. You have 15 seconds here on Fearless with no change over time. The cost simply goes up. So those are the main abilities. The final ability, the ultimate for Tyr, is Lawbringer. Tyr leaps through the air, bringing indiscriminate justice upon all enemies in the target area and slowing them. 450 damage with 120 physical power contribution. A massive AoE ability. On top of that, it gives you crowd control immunity during the setup. So you can use this as an escape if you need to, but obviously you're going to want to use it as a massive power hit if you can. So this makes Tyr very useful for hitting large groups of gods, especially because the radius on it is fairly large. It gives them a 25% slow for 3 seconds as well. For the cost of 120 mana, it does have a 70-second cooldown. Now, since you can reduce the cooldown of the first 2 abilities with stance change, you may not need cooldown reduction gear. However, stance change does come with an 11-second cooldown on it. So while you might be able to do 2 abilities, pop 2 more, you won't be able to do it again until your next stance change. And stance change could leave you in defensive mode if you started off in offensive mode, which may not be where you want to be at the time. So cooldown gear can still be quite useful for Tyr. Alright, so now that we've gone over all the abilities, we've taken a good look at Tyr. I'm going to bring him into a game. I haven't really spent much time with him yet, so let's see how we do.
The law returns to this land.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, starting with Tyr, the Lawgiver, in a match. Now, we're going to be using the basic items, the recommended items, and I have looked at them a little bit before. Thankfully, so now I might have an idea of which Ankh they would choose, but let's go ahead and start. So, oddly enough, I'm going to start off with a little tankiness. Mark of the Vanguard. Get a tabby. A little bit of damage. So a little bit of tankiness, a little bit of damage. So that's, you know, fairly bruiserific, right? I've done that with some tanks, with magical tanks, get a mark and get magical boots. So that's not too bad. Alright, for this, I definitely want some mana potions, because Tyr will be mana heavy. He really will be. As swapping stances will take plenty of mana. Alright. Looks like Ra wants Vulcan, so I think I'll be going solo lane. So it looks like I'll be going this way. Unless, are they gonna... They're doing Gold Fury. Alright, let's do that. Okay, so starting off, the game is going to give me Fearless, so I will have my charge. Now what's pretty cool about Tyr is he has his own unique markings here. I thought we were doing Gold Fury, but apparently we're not.
Still, while I weave you a wonderful...
Guess I'll go left. Alright, so you can see a wonderful, unique marking there, and so it looks like we're getting about 30, maybe 40 yards away with this. Is Neath actually going to attack anything? Oh, okay, no, looks not. Alright, so let's move forward. Now, it looks like we start off in defensive stance. So, Tyr will start off more Bruiser than glass cannon or anything like that. Little tanky, so I've got the mark, and I've got defensive stance. If I mouse over it, will it tell me? No, but it's blue. Blue is typically defensive stance. Actually, looking at the way he's gripping his sword, I should be in assault stance, and unfortunately, there is no real way to tell. I think I may not have a stance right now. I'm pretty sure it's assault, though, just judging from the... You know what? We'll take a look at it here. That's the problem with stancing characters, especially one that can't stance until you get the first level. See, at least with Hell, I could stance because the ultimate is given to you right away, so therefore I missed. But that just showed that we are in assault stance, so I have more attack power than I have defense right now. I do have number 3, so I can swap. Oh, there we go, knocking Hades around. Very nicely done, Neath. Okay, Power Cleave. Again, a very unique icon for Tyr himself. As you see, very wide radius on his ability. What I kind of want to do is grab Blink for this guy, because if I could Blink behind an enemy and then just assault stance them and then Power Cleave them backwards towards my tower, it could be quite useful. Alright, let's... Alright, that didn't work out too hot. Alright, let's just go ahead and move away. As you see, there's a slight, very slight run speed increase. Now, I'm going to need a little bit of healing, so I'm going to go ahead and use my cleave to get some healing. Alright, let's get away. Whoops, I missed. That's alright, let's use a bit of mana. Nice, nice, very nicely done. So, as you can see... Oh, let's pull back because I don't have the health to deal with that. Tyr, very much on the mana-hungry side. I really could use a mana buff. So there, I was able to survive the onslaught of Hades just because of my Power Cleave. And I'm going to use it again to get more points back here. There we go, hit all 3 of those guys. Let's go ahead and pull back into the tower. Now, basically, the way you can tell his stance, and what kind of caused me some confusion, is, of course, the stance looks like it's blue, and normally blue is his defense. But if you look at the way he's holding the sword, he's holding it in a reverse grip fashion. There we go, got away from him. He was going to try and do his combo to knock me up, and he probably could have killed me if he would have done it. So, here's the ultimate. Again, another unique ability there, or another unique marker. Alright, knocking him back. He's in the tower. He's going to die. Maybe not. Oh, yep, there we go. Arachne got him. Nicely done. So if he's holding his sword in reverse grip, it's a very defensive stance. When he holds it in the foregrip, that's when he's being offensive. Now, I might actually grab... Meditate. I don't think I'm going to need beads for this group. We got a Hebo, Hades here. I can always use my ultimate to escape if really needed. So with the consumption that I'm expecting, I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to do it. I'm going to grab it. So if I just go back here just to show it off, if I switch stances, you'll see there he flips the sword. Now he's in offensive stance. So yes, the red in the little icon over here is reflecting the proper stance now. But when I started off, it looked like it was blue, so I don't know what to say on that one. It's kind of weird. I can always mouse over this now because it does say assault stance. It's a little confusing, to be perfectly honest, at the very beginning. But I do like the fact that there is a second god with stances now. Alright, so you know what? Oh no. Hebo's not really. Hello, Hades. Oh, I missed. See, that's the problem with Tyr's abilities, is you have to predict movements really a lot, so I'm still working on that. I'm getting a bit of lag here too, I'm noticing. Things are kind of jumping a little bit. If you're noticing that in the video, it's not the recording, it's actually happening. I'll be in one position for a second and then I'll jump. There is a known issue with lag spikes in EU servers, and it very well could be where I am. Oh, not to— what? See, right there, that was a lag spike that just completely screwed over what I was trying to do. I thought I had them, it looked like they were both in my ability, and then all of a sudden, lag.
An ally has been slain.
Alright, let's switch over to defense, grab a little bit of health. Alright, let's displace Hades. And use my ult to slow them down. I was hoping to get a little bit more damage there, didn't quite happen. Still not quite used to him and his abilities and the order I have to use things, so obviously not the best. Neith unfortunately died, but they did get the enemy tier. So alright. I kind of dashed into Hades' ultimate, and that was really what screwed me over there, dashing into his ultimate. Now, I could have used my ult to escape, but I was hoping that between me and Neith, we could do a lot of damage to the enemy, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. At least the other tier went down. Now, what's really interesting about tiers, well, here is that he'll maintain his stance when he dies, so he doesn't get reset. I believe Hell does that as well. I haven't played enough of her to know for sure. Oh, what's this? Neith? Do you want it? I guess I'll take it. Now, you know what? I'm more than happy to take that because I am totally mana hungry. So let's go over here and see what we can do, shall we? Let's go ahead and dash him backwards. I'm going to grab a little bit of health, do some damage. Uh-oh. Didn't quite get him into the tower. There we go. Back into the tower. There we go. Alright, there's the stun on Hades. I've got 3 seconds before my ult comes up. Maybe I can get him out of his tower. Let's try it. Oh, dear me. Alright, defensive stance. Heal. Freaking heal. Oh my goodness.
Your right tower is under attack. Incoming right. Enemies incoming left.
Oh, I heard that. I'm getting out of here. Be careful. Kind of watching around. Heal up when I can. Oh, there's Hebo. Just got out of the way of him. He's trying to poke on me. Oh, we might be able to get him. I don't have my ult, but I can totally get behind him. Wow. Very nicely done. Getting some healing up. Helping push into the tower. Well, Tyr's sword lasted there for a while, didn't it? That's pretty cool. So as you can see, you know, if you can catch an enemy unaware, see the problem there is, you know, the dash is fairly slow. That is something that I really have to compensate for. If I would have realized that my dash was going to be that slow, I could have tried to put it ahead of Hades rather than trying to aim right at him. You know, being used to other characters with dashes that go fairly quickly. Tyr does not go fast. So there's going to be a lot of learning there. It's going to be a pretty big learning curve to deal with the fact that Tyr doesn't move in the way you would expect. Alright, let's try and push him out of the tower. Nope, I missed. Uh-oh. Enemy Tyr. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get out of Hades' ultimate. And just barely survive.
Be right back.
Alright.
Be careful left.
Alright, let's go ahead and get some physical penetration here. What's the next recommended item on the list? Void Blade, understandable. Alright, get some consumables. Let's go ahead and get some healing potions. I'm going to go ahead and return in defensive stance. Now, the beautiful thing about having these stances, offensive and defensive, is that you can kind of compensate gear choices with it. So if I'm going to be in offensive stance, I've got 50 attack power to play with. So I could do something like go for more attack speed without sacrificing a lot of damage, because the damage will come to me naturally in my stance. Alright, let's go ahead and pop you back. Alright, you can already see that Tyr has got a pretty good... Uh-oh. There we go. Tyr's got a pretty good attack speed increase as he levels. I'm already at 1.3 attacks per second, so he's going to start attacking pretty quick. Now what I did there to try and take out the enemy Tyr is I pretty much came up to him in defensive stance, popped him with my Power Cleave, since Power Cleave is my highest scaling ability. I'm just going to go ahead and use it there now because I'm pretty bad at judging the gap there. Good job, Neith. I popped him with the Power Cleave. I had already used my dash, so that was down. So the moment I popped my Power Cleave, I popped into... Nice. Oh, no! Uh-oh. He's gonna get me. But I got him, too. He got me with his charge move. He got me with his Fearless before I could hit him. I was hoping to jump in, hit him with my Fearless, but he got me first, which got me hit by his tower. So as you see, Tyr, when used properly, can be very effective at controlling enemies inside his own tower, pushing into his own tower, pushing out of towers. He's really got an amazing ability for doing that. Not as much as, say, Fenrir, but he's really got some very useful abilities if you can get past the time it takes to do the abilities. Alright, with that, we're going to go ahead straight into Void Blade. We'll be getting the focused Void Blade, I believe. Basically getting our attack power and defenses up. So Void Blade, honestly, a really good item for Tyr, just on the fact that because he gains protections and attack power through his through his stancing, that item helps both stances. It's just really good for Tyr. Alright, so speaking of Tyr, the enemy Tyr is... He was kind of weak, but I think he healed himself up. Oh, there's the cleave. Let's kind of displace him. Stance. Displace again. I didn't even need the Power Cleave the second time, so you can see there quite a bit of damage. I'm going to go ahead and do the Power Cleave here. It's kind of weak. It's only at level 1. The good news is that because of its scaling, even at level 1, it's going to be doing fairly decent damage. I have level 4 of my stance. I have 5 levels into my charge. Hello there, Hades. How you doing? Uh-oh. Switch over to defensive stance, especially with Hebo around. Now, is that physical defense only? Actually, I should look at that. Magical too. So yeah, physical and magical protections.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Alright, I got pushed back, but I'm going to go ahead and push back as well. There's my answer to that. Let's go ahead and use my ultimate. Bunch of damage to the enemy Tyr. Let's go ahead and use my... Oh. Let's get out of here. Stance to regain my cooldowns. Try and gain a little bit of health. Pop my potion again. I'm going to be chased down, though. They're probably going to get me. Pop my cooldowns. Oh, nope. Wasn't enough. I was running away from 3 people, and I almost got away from it. Not bad. If I would have gotten the cooldown back sooner, I might have been able to get away by dashing away. So, not too bad. Not too shabby. 3 people chasing you and still surviving, for the most part, is, in my opinion, Good job. Even if I died at the end, yes. Oh, look at that golden arachne, really. Look at her go. She's kind of blue. Blue and gold arachne. Hey, you know, this isn't bad. I haven't played Smite in, what's it been, a week or two? It's been a while. I haven't played Smite in a while. And I haven't even played tier that much yet. So I don't think I'm doing too bad. 3 and 3. A 1-to-1 KDR. 6 assists. Yeah, you know, that's not terrible, right? I mean, I'm rusty right now. I might as well be a noob again. Might as well. But I don't feel too bad. So it looks like we've got majority of our team in the middle lane there.
An ally has been slain.
Left lane looking kind of oddly empty. Okay, let's go ahead and use my abilities. You see there, 2 hits right at the beginning. Let's go ahead and get this real quick so that I can have some mana. Let's go see what's happening here. So everybody was in the mid, but they all pulled back. Arachne died. Looks like. Let's switch to defensive stance because I don't know what's going on here. Displace. Oh, there's a new teleport effect. I just saw that. So let's see what we're going to do here. We've got 4 in the lane. Let's kind of pull back and see what's going on here. There's Hebo, kind of dancing around, being silly, being Hebo. Alright, looks like Hebo is alone again in the middle lane. We're all here. Let's just push on the tower real fast. These lag spikes are getting a little bit annoying. Uh-oh. There is Hebo's ult doing quite a bit of damage to me. Thank goodness I was in defensive stance, which basically saved my hide. God, man, that lag is pretty bad. I just saw people disappear and reappear. Alright. Can't get too close. Let's try and get that Hebo. Hebo gone. Okay, let's do a little bit of displacement. Cooldown's back, pushing hell back. Oh, I was able to push her back, but wasn't able to kill her. Ra was able to kill her, though. Nicely done. Excellent work. Only 2 of them are up. Tyr and Artemis both up. Pushing forward into this tower. Want to take it down as quickly as possible. Switching to defensive stance. So once it goes down, I can possibly get away if I need to. Grab some health. Yeah, especially against that. Need to grab some health against that poke of hers. Alright, Gold Fury is ours. Excellently done. Alright, just waiting to see what happens here. Vulcan has got to pull back. I should probably pull back as well. But here comes the creep, so let's see what happens. Incoming creep, but oh, there is Tyr and Art. Alright, pull a little bit of displacement of my own. Alright. Oh no, killed by Artemis. Well, yeah, that's what happens. I got left alone, and I got a little cocky. That's okay. Like I said, I haven't played in a while. I'm a few factors there. Obviously, the lag spikes are really hurting, and I don't know if part of that is entirely Smite's fault. I've been running into some slow internet issues lately, so let's just say that it's probably partially my fault and partially their fault. I could turn on the FPS, I guess. What is that, F8? Ping isn't bad, so I don't think I'm in a bad server, but I could be have a good connection and just be getting lag spikes. I don't know, to be honest. Alright, I'm going to turn that off. Let's look at the next item in recommended. We are going into the Ankh. Okay, so the Ankh is physical protection with health and attack speed. So we're going to sacrifice a little bit of power using the Ankh, but that's okay because we've got a stance to compensate for that. Now, I do believe that they choose the maximum health converted to physical power Ankh in the recommended items, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to get the Ankh of the Bear for physical protections. I really should do the math at some point, but if we're going to do maximum health, I've got 2,000 health. 10% is what? 200? So 20 damage with that. If I go to 15% of physical power instead, I've got 183, so that's about 18. But it's more than that because it's 15%, right? So yeah, I'm actually going to get more power out of using the physical protection. Not only that, but if I stance into the physical protection form, it'll give me more power to compensate for the lack of power of the stances. So I think that's the better choice. Why they chose the health one, I'm not entirely sure. They do pick health items, but I don't think it quite compensates for the loss there. Alright, Arachne trying to get away. What I'm going to try and do is help her get away. A little pushback. I wasn't able to do the combo because I got knocked into a ward or into Transgressor's Fate. It's going to go ahead and try and follow up on Hell. I'm going to do a little bit of chase. And as you can see there, missed by Tyr. Go ahead and pull back. So you can see there that my dash is quite useless if you are using it at the extreme range. Alright, so let's go ahead and chase after this Hades with my ultimate. There's the knock-up. There's the kill. Huh? Oh, did he get the kill? I don't care if he got the kill. As long as he died. It's not like I'm Xbalanque or anything like that. Alright, Fire Giant, good call. Neath and Arachne heading this way. I'm gonna wait, huh? What I could do is switch over to defensive stance and get ready for this. I want to see this cost no mana. Okay, so that's the beautiful thing, is that my stance does not cost mana. So I can do that all I want, I just have to worry about the cooldown. I really do think I would want a cooldown build with him, because there have been several times... Uh-oh. Alright. Get away from her. Alright. There have been several times where I could have really used an ability to catch up or run away. Alright, let's pull back. Alright, Artemis, Hebo. Looks like our Neath is pushing left against the final tower. Vulcan pushing right against Hades and Tyr, though, so Vulcan's kind of at a disadvantage here. Alright, let's try and do a pop-up. She's trying to lead me into the trap. Nicely done. Taken out by Hebo. Just used his cascading waves there on me and just decimated with the water cannon. Knew that was going to happen. Alright, Hebo taken out by the team, though. Tyr pushing into the middle lane. Who's he pushing up against? Looks like he's up against Vulcan. Tyr not faring so hot. Level 14 against our 18 Vulcan. Vulcan pushing up on him. Tyr, 25% health down if the others decide to chase on him. Looks like, yep, here it comes. There's Neath missing with the arrow. And here comes Hell to protect Tyr, giving him quite a bit of a protection boost, quite a bit of health. It looks like they might have to forget the chase, but Tyr decides to go ahead and keep engaging, eventually running away, though, realizing that fighting them 3 people at once is probably not a good idea. Alright, and with that, let's go ahead and grab my Ankh, or I grab Protection Ankh. Recommended. What's next? Deathbringer, yes, the ultimate in DPS itemry, eh? Alright, can I move up the tier here, get some health as well? Tier, not meaning to be puns there, no. I'm going to do that. I want to get this up to the final level so I can get healing from it. So let's kind of look at my power right now. Let's just go ahead and go back so we can get a good look at this. I'm sitting at 164 power in defensive, 208 in offensive. So we're looking at a difference of about 40 power, even though the stance shows a difference of 50. So I'm gaining back about 10 power from using that Ankh. Alright, nobody in left lane. What's going on? Left lane, we've cleared the left lane all the way up. Oh yeah, that Ankh gives you attack speed, doesn't it? Let's kind of go look at that real quick. Yeah, it does. So look at that. I've got 1.58, a fairly decent attack speed. Uh-oh, here's Artemis back behind me, so I'm going to try and come up on her. She is chasing down Ra, but that is probably... Oh, no! I was knocked out of my dash ability there. What is it? Fearless. I was going to call it Reckless. I suppose it was Reckless, but... Yeah, knocked out of Fearless by Hades' Fear. It looks like Hell is pretty weak. I'm going to try and engage. If I can get deep in there, I think I can. Uh-oh. Was unable to perform the dash that I needed. Hell's still a bit weak. Not worrying about her at the moment, though. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of displacement, hoping to confuse the enemy team. Looks like it might have. They pushed back a bit, but it also didn't help my team push up too much. They did push up a little bit, but I was hoping they might have, through the confusion, might have been able to scatter them out a bit and take one of them out. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen. Was really hoping I could have gotten that Hell. Unfortunately, I misjudged my dashes, which is quite easy to do on tier. Hey, look at that tier pushing me back. And if I would have been in offensive stance, I would have pushed him right into my team. Oops, let's go ahead and protect Arachne a little bit. Get a little bit of healing here. Alright, you know what? Let's just pop my stance switch. And we're just going to go into it with Hades being weak. Hades is nearly dead. Let's see if we can kill him. There it is. There's the death on Hades. Let's try and get out of there. Nope, wasn't going to happen. 4 of them all right on top of me. Was able to kill Hades, but unfortunately 4-on-1 is a bad scenario. Vulcan the only one up. Enemy team down only 1, so they're basically the opposite of us. Yeah, it was a valiant attempt. Nice try. We could very much come back from this still, though. Let's take a look at how we're doing at the top of the scoreboard. We're doing at 51,000, 52,000 gold to their 42. We're up 10k gold, and we are up by 5 kills. So they are definitely going to catch up a little bit here with the towers, but we are still in a very favorable position. Enemy tier has just gone down. Vulcan defending the middle lane. Looks like Hebo and Hell are deciding to retreat. Hell is only level 16 against our 19 Vulcan, so she could be in trouble if he's able to focus on her. Let's take a look at the levels in general. I am level 17, not the bottom of my team. That would belong to Arachne, but we're not doing too bad again. Arachne has a few assists. Unfortunately, being the ganker of our team doesn't really bode well, but with 9 assists, that means she has tried, so there is that. Neith doing pretty well, 7-3. Vulcan at 2-1, pretty good for a tank. I am in my 1-to-1 kill ratio of 6-6, and Ra just doing work here at 9-4. Very nicely done, sir. All right, so our team looking good, looking good. We could be far worse. One lost team fight does not lose the game. So let's see. Arachne going for damage buff. Hades, the enemy Hades, guarding the left-hand lane. Vulcan pushing into the right. Looks like he will be pushing with Arachne. Going up against Artemis, we've got Ra and Neith pushing left jungle towards the fire giant. I'm going to go try and help on the right. We've got Artemis, who doesn't have a lot of escapes. I could try and get to her and help take out Artemis. Looks like Artemis is retreating into the jungle. I'm going to try and move around her here. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. So let's go ahead and switch to defensive stance and get my cooldowns up. Let's go ahead and get behind these two. Getting a little bit of displacement on Hell. Hell is healing up a bit, but she is retreating, so she's not helping in their team fight. Looks like we're going to try and come up against, we got 3 here, enemy Tyr, enemy Artemis, and Hades. Better watch my back, though, because at any time I could be attacked from behind. Alright, let's do a little displace. Looks like I missed on that one. Hell decided to go backwards rather than forwards. Let's try and get in here and help with this team fight. Got Neith with me. Go and push in, get around this ward, dodging Art. Displacement and a little bit of lag, so I lost my position on her, but let's go ahead and get this tier with a power cleave, and then there's the kill by Neith. Artemis is pulling back. Looks like Hades is pretty weak in the center as well. Let's go ahead and push into the center. I've got my power cleave ready to go. Oh, Ra pulling the ultimate on Hades, taking him out. Alright, looks like Artemis has pretty much got her health back here. She is not that phased at all. She wasn't that weak to begin with, I don't think. Alright, let's move on. What are we going to be doing? There are only 2 of them up. We should really push a tower, I would think. Let's push against this art, see what happens. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of the tower. Habo pushing on me, using his Gem of Isolation, but it doesn't look like he's actually going to chase. I'll go ahead and pop a potion. Let's be careful on the left there, Neath. Let's see. Habo coming up on the left here. That's quite alright there, Habo. Oh, but with the ultimate. Nicely done. Unfortunate that Habo just does a crap ton of damage when he uses his ultimate, which makes him a force to be reckoned with. He definitely has some penetration as well, has his Void Stone, using the AoE Void Stone, oddly enough, but also using a spear. That's a little odd, actually, a spear choice for Habo. I can see it. I can definitely see it. But, I don't know, usually you do it on things that tick, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to really need to pull together some teamwork, I think. But what I'll do is I'm going to grab the health on this. And let's see, Neath is going to go ahead and go into the left-hand lane trying to defend it. Looks like we've got a team fight over here. Ra, Vulcan, and Arachne going after Tyr. Tyr backing up.
Retreat!
Oh, it looks like they got 3 people there. Oh, the entire team, I think, is there. Hebo pushing forward. Ra getting stuck in a Hades ultimate. Ra putting on an Aegis and a healing field. Surviving for a while, but not enough. He was not able to survive the onslaught of the enemy team. Vulcan getting trapped by Artemis. He's able to escape for the most part, though. Thankfully, he's a little bit tanky against that Artemis, so she wasn't able to do a lot of damage to him, but it was enough to make him retreat. Had the other team members been there, he might have definitely had a little bit of a problem there with the different types of damage. Looking into the right here, it looks like we've got all 3 of that force moving into the right tower. Not going to be too much that I can do here on my own. So quite unfortunate. I can try and look menacing. Gur, please don't come this way, Gur. Yes. Swing at nothing. Alright, so enemy Tyr trying to retreat. We're going to go ahead and chase on him. He's pulling into defensive stance to try and get away. Alright, looks like he will be able to get away. I really don't have any reasons for him to really not get away. I don't honestly care. So we are level 19. Almost everything is maxed except for the ultimate. We have got to pull something together. So there's only 3 of us up. Ra is in the fountain right now, so he's either buying, or since I haven't been paying attention to the chat, typing out responses. I don't know. Chat's been kind of volatile, which is strange because we've been winning. We've been doing really well. And I saw something about Arachne complaining about kill stealing, so there's that. Alright, Hades. Excuse me. Oh, really? A complete miss. Oh, man, that sucks. Alright, let's see what we can do against this art. Let's go ahead and slow her down. Power cleave. Stance, dance. Displace. Try and cleave. Didn't quite get it. Looks like our Neath is trying to do some damage. Oh, jeez. There I go. Hades' ult wasn't enough to do it. It was Hebo. Mostly Hebo. It was pretty much mostly Hebo there. That's... Wow. I'm going to need some magical defense, I think. Alright, let's see what we need to do here. I need 1,000. I don't think selling my mark is going to give me enough for that Deathbringer. So let's just grab some health potions. I think what's going to kill this team is the infighting. I really do. This team had a lot of potential to beat the enemy team. We were winning on individual basis, and now we're just getting decimated in the team fights, and they're just kind of bickering amongst each other, which is really just going to kill it. I hate to say it. I mean, look at this. We got 3 people going against Ra. Ra is not going to survive that. He is dead. Neath is going to have to run away. Neath is the only one left. Artemis giving chase, using it looks like a meditation. Neath leading them into Arachne's spiderlings. Not a bad idea. Neath barely surviving with her weave. Able to get a little bit of healing back. Hades pushing into the tower. Neath rooting him into the tower. was a good idea. Would have been nice if she would have been able to backflip out of that, but unfortunately it looks like she was out of moves and just couldn't do it. So unfortunately using the Aegis to try and survive, but wasn't enough. She was too weak. Basically, after coming out of the Aegis, she was pretty much done. Trying to use the tower to take out the enemy, but their levels are a little bit too high for that tactic to fully work at this point. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try and take this and let's push in with the ult and do a little bit of displacement. Switch. Oh, there's the boar. If it weren't for the boar, I might have been able to do something with that. That's a pretty good Artemis, I'm going to be honest. Most players of Artemis can't do traps very well, and she has put those traps underneath her pretty much every time I've tried to chase her, so she's gotten me a couple times with them. So I've got to give her props for that. She is honestly a fairly decent Artemis player. So that's that coupled with the teams being split up. Well, Arachne is trying to take the attack damage buff. Raw wants to attack left lane. Vulcan, for whatever reason, doubling back. Left Phoenix is down. So they've got Habo and Hell defending left. No, I'm not going to be able to do anything. Everybody's back here now. Ra is being attacked by, looks like Tyr. I should be able to help against that Tyr. Ra, no, Ra's going to die before I get there, but here comes Tyr. Here comes me against Tyr. Pushing him back. Oh, Tyr using... Oh, no you don't, Tyr. He used his ultimate to escape. I figured I might as well use my ultimate to chase. Alright, Neith tried to stun Hades. Didn't look like it happened, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and come in here, get a little bit of healing. Alright, right enemy tower taken out by Neith. Very good job. Left enemy Phoenix has come back up. Alright, Hades. Let's go ahead and pull back a bit. Oh man, I got feared and got pushed right back into the enemy team. There wasn't much I could do about that, even with my protections up. It was not going to be a battle that I was winning. Alright, so we have got the Deathbringer. Let's take a look at what the next recommended is. It'll be Frostbound Hammer. So with that, we're going to go ahead and sell the mark. Get the first Frostbound Hammer. Gives me a little bit more health, a little bit more physical power. So looking at, let's kind of look at the raw values again, since we were talking about the Ankh of the Bear versus, what's the other Ankh? Recommended Ankh. Bear versus Golem. So Bear is 15% physical protections compared to Ankh's 1% maximum health. So 1% maximum health, I'm at 2,500 health. So 10%, 250, 1%, 25. So with physical protections, though, we're looking at 15% physical protection. So my physical protection right now is at about 210. So 10% of that is 21. So with 15%, we're looking at about 30. So already right there, I have more damage from that rather than health. Now, I am in defensive stance, so what I'd like to see is what I would get out of that. So if we look at our physical protection and we switch stances, 165, so that's 16. We add in like a 7, so that's still 20. So it's about 5 damage less in assault form. So my assault form is going to have a little less damage, I think, but my defensive form is going to have more damage. So I've kind of evened it out a little bit. Alright, so a little bit of damage there. Habo, oh. Wow. I'm done. I just got taken out. I was hoping to get that Hebo, but looks like, oh, come on, Ra. Just a, oh, all you had to do was auto-attack him, Ra. Oh, man. You tried to ultimate him. You could have auto... Okay, it's alright. I screwed up, too, because I got overzealous and thought I could help take out that Hebo, and it just didn't work. I'm honestly not good with... I'm not good with his charge. His charge is so slow. I misalign myself with it, so it's quite unfortunate. Well, I guess the good news is I've got a hammer. Unfortunately, I've lost my 1-to-1. I am down to 710. I am not doing so hot anymore. I do have quite a bit of assist, though, so I have been in the battles and in the thick of things. Neath being pushed by Artemis and Hell, pulling back at this point. Probably a good idea. 2-to-1 fight, not a grand idea. 3 of us down, only Vulcan Neath up. Vulcan Neath both being attacked here right at the right-hand tower. Tyr getting hit by the ultimate, but using his meditation to survive. Looks like Neath is going to be helping take that Artemis out. Rooting very good. Neath taking a lot of damage from the ultimate of Tyr. Tyr pushing Vulcan back into the tower, but goes too far into the tower, gets hit, and gets taken out. Tyr, the Lawbringer of the enemy team, is now KO'd. He'll be dishing out justice and law in the grave, I suppose. Yeah, that wasn't hilarious at all. That's okay, because I am struggling with my ineptitude. It's okay. I figured that's the funniest part of this video. I'm just that bad. Right. It's okay. We'll make it up. We'll make it up. Let's see what's happening here, though. Everybody's in the right except for Vulcan. So let's go to the right. What is Vulcan doing? He's going towards the Fire Giant. Going past the Fire Giant. Going back to middle lane. What is he doing? I don't know. Arachne, looks like she's going to take out Gold Fury. I think I'll try and help her out with that, actually. Probably doesn't need my help. Nope, she doesn't. Alright, doing pretty good on attack speed. 1.66. Look at that. Swing, swing, swing. Oh, Hell. There's Hell. Knock up. Cleave. Cooldown reduction. Didn't quite need it. Arachne was able to take her out. Pushing on Hades. Power Cleave, because, you know, that hits hard. Let's go ahead and ult through the wall. Slowing him down. Displace. Change my cooldowns. Charge. Power Cleave. Whew. That's how it works. It's nice. Alright, looks like Tyr and Hebo pushing against our team here. Let's kind of go in there. Oh, Vulcan's ultimate pushing Tyr back. Hebo is really weak. I don't have my ultimate, so I can't push on him. Looks like Artemis is doing some damage over here. Artemis's board just got me, but that's okay. Tyr is pushing into Vulcan's... Uh-oh. Trying to heal up. Almost got Tyr. He was pushed into Vulcan's Thumper, and I was hoping to push him further into the Thumper and do some damage. It looked like it worked out for the most part, but unfortunately not enough. Looks like Artemis and Tyr are chasing. Vulcan's gonna die. I'm not gonna be able to save him. If I would have stayed to fight, they would have killed me too. I hate to say that. I don't like to leave someone behind like that, but... Alright, so with this... Do I get something with some magical protections and physical power? I mean, that is completely possible. I could grab myself a shield. Let's see how we're doing here. They are physical, magical, 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 mostly magical. And Hebo is definitely a pain to deal with. I think I do want to get a shield for replacing the mark. Let's make him more of a bruiser and gain the shield, because right now all I have are physical protections. And I don't have a lot of magical, and I really want to survive what the Hebo is cooking. Or drowning. So we're going to do that. I think that's what we'll do. Shield is kind of expensive, but it can be worth it. Gives me some power, gives me magical defense. A really great item for some of these physical guys. Alright, let's take a look. Neath pushing up against one or two people on the left. Looks like Artemis pushing against Ra. Looks like she was able to take out Ra. Let's go ahead and try and do a little bit of damage. She used her boar to try and get away. She's running through the jungle, but I'm just going to intercept her on the right because she's just keep running that way. Oh, nope, looks like she went around left. There she is. There she is. Pulled in by Arachne and taken out. Very good job, Arachne. Let's just kind of clear out some of these things. These things are in the way. Alright, middle tower still up. I kind of want to take that down, but only one of their team is dead. Let's see if maybe I can push on it. Looks like their team is in the left, going after Fire Giant. Yep, let's move over into the left. Activate my assault stance so I can do a little bit more damage when I decide to ultimate in. I see Hades pushing in, or pushing around. Yep. There it is. There's the knock-up. There's the power cleave. There's the death. Hell is pushing up, trying to defend. Did not get there in time to save Hades. Me and Vulcan giving chase. Looks like we got Arachne behind us. Unfortunately, she's not close enough to do a pull-in. Looks like Hell's going to get away. So, looks like they got the Fire Giant. That is quite unfortunate. Let's go ahead and help Arachne get that kill. Hell is now in the middle lane. We need to push this tower. Let's get this tower down. Oh, Arachne's pushing on Hell. Let's push her out of the tower, shall we? Excellent. Alright, with that, I'm going to push on the tower in my defensive stance, so in case it decides to attack me. There we go. Middle tower's down, left tower's down, right tower's down. All towers are down on the enemy team. All we need to do now is take out their Phoenixes. Artemis is the only one up. Now is the time to attack. We need to push it. Push it real good. Phoenix down. Here comes Hebo. Very careful. Alright. Alright, let's do it. I've got the defensive prowess. I should be able to make a little bit of a difference there. Oh, there goes the ultimate from Hebo, taking me out immediately. Oh, man. Even with the shield and all that. Well, the shield's not... I don't have the shield yet, actually, so never mind. There we go. Get a little bit of the shield. And we'll get the runic shield, which will give me magical protections. What is this? HP 5 increase? That's not bad, but I really need the protections because Hebo is pretty much one-shotting me. So that's what we'll do. Alright, not bad at all. Hebo pushing against Vulcan. Honestly, I can see Vulcan's not going to survive this. Hebo's going to slow him down. There goes the water cannon, and he's out. Neith is coming up behind Hebo, but looks like she's not able to follow up just yet. Ra slowing him down a little bit. Hebo running away. Nice juke from the Beam of Light. Ra putting down a little bit of healing. And Ra's natural movement speed allowing him to get through Hebo's slow. Ra even catching up. Not using his auto attacks, though, deciding to keep up with him until he can use his slow, and there it is, allows Neith to catch up. Neith doing a bulk of the damage on that one, taking out Hebo. Very nicely done. Good pincer attack by those two. Hell and Hades are still up. Looks like Hell is in the enemy base. I don't see Hades on the map. Hard to tell what's going on there. He may be in their base still, either purchasing or crapping his underoos. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Are we really that intimidating? I couldn't say. Alright, I've got my item build completed, so I can now slow the enemy with my hammer, get a little penetration, have a little protection, penetrations with the Void Blade, a little bit of attack speed and health from the Golem, extra crit, and of course some power and magical protection. So, well, fairly well-rounded. I mean, if we take a look at the final stats, looking at this, I've got some decent penetration, attack speed, power is kind of mid-line there, physical protection fairly high there with magical protections, all in the mid-range. So we're looking pretty good. I'm a well-balanced character, so I'm not strong in any one area, but I can do fairly well all around and face most challenges. Alright, looks like we got Tyr and Art behind us. I'm going to go ahead and go into the healing field, and let's just go ahead and charge out. Switching to offensive stance. A couple of them are really weak, including their Tyr. I'm going to go ahead and push up. Wasn't able to get on the enemy Tyr. I miss Artemis just barely. Got some healing, though, so I can get out of there. Not able to do too much. Hebo's ultimate is now down. Let's kind of try to push forward and see what we can do. Oh, let's use my cooldowns and displace. Just get the hell out of there. Yep, Hebo just taking me out with the water cannon. Not much going on there. So, unfortunately, a few misjudged calls. And it looks like people running away. Vulcan's the only one left. He may be able to get away because of his protections, but honestly, he's got the entire enemy team on him. So this is going to be very dangerous. He's making a lot of progress, honestly. I'm impressed at how far he's getting. Vulcan taking a bunch of damage now, though. Looks like Artemis was able to take him down with her piercing attacks. Neith is back up, though, so she's going to have to be very careful because the entire enemy team is pretty much there on the left-hand side. She can probably try and hold them off a little bit with her natural movement abilities, but going after a buff, not the best idea. Using an Aegis at that, I would not have probably wasted that Aegis. I hate to say that. That was pretty bad. All right, not surrendering, because again, even though this team is not really pulling together too well, we're not terrible. Now, our kills have definitely gone down. We're losing the team fights like crazy. So, 47. They're up by 5 kills, maybe.
An enemy has been slain.
All right, here we go. Let's try and move in. Let's just kind of pull back a little bit. We are still up on gold, oddly enough. So with our items, we could make a comeback. We're only down on the kills, and the kills are not the most important part. So what we need
Defend the fire giant.
is maybe that might not be a bad idea. Let's go find out where they are. Offensive stance. Yep, they're on it. Oh, jeez. Alright, pushing in. Enemy tier. Uh-oh. I don't know what's going to happen either. I'm going to kill this thing or they're going to leave. Alright, cooldown's back. Alright, there goes Art. Uh-oh, Hades here. Alright, popping my... Oh, man. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Nicely done, Vulcan. I lost track of what was going on there. We did not get it, but we got all but Hebo. Push, mid, and right. Yeah. So we got Hebo here. I need my health. Hebo using his ultimate, almost killing Neath, but Neath was able to kind of get away. Yeah, Hebo's going to retreat a little bit there. Wasn't able to do too much as far as that goes, just because the dash doesn't give me enough of a burst of speed to really do that. Let's go ahead and try and push on the right. Popping into defensive stance because I do not want to get one shot by Hebo if I can avoid it. Hebo's ult is down, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Alright. Ooh, decent amount of damage there. My power cleave took a good chunk of his health off. Unfortunately, with my meditate down and I have no potions, I really don't want to risk pushing too far in. Hebo has got help now in the form of Hell, and this could be very bad. So let's kind of... Oh, Vulcan popping his ultimate, but Hebo's getting a little bit of protection there from Hell. Uh-oh. Pulling out of Hades' ultimate. Let's go ahead and get out of there. Vulcan.
Retreat, right lane.
Get out of there. We got 3 of them here, 4 of them now. I'm not going to be able to do anything. If I go in there, I'm going to die too. I hate to say this. I can't. He's going to die.
An ally has been slain.
Ra putting an ultimate on Hebo and taking him out. Very nice. Very nice. Hell coming in with initiation with Artemis, and it looks like there's Hades.
Retreat.
We need to pull back.
Set up an ambush here.
I see 3 of them.
Set up an ambush here.
Uh-oh, getting chased. Got 3 of them on me. Alright. Oh, there's Artemis taking a bunch of damage. I'm still in defensive stance, but I'm able to do enough damage to take her out. Alright, let's go ahead and try and chase on this Hell. Unfortunately, I did not mean to do the ultimate. If I meant to do that, I would have... Darn it, I would have tried to angle the camera a little bit better so that I could go further ahead. Alright, Hades pushing back on us. Going to try and give chase to this guy. He's pulling me away from the team though, so I don't want to do that too much. Looks like Tyr is pushing a little bit here. He's fairly low. He's running away. Neath and Ra trying to give pursuit. Looks like Ra was able to take out Tyr. Hell is over here pretty much by herself at the moment, but she's healing and slowing me down, so I'm not able to chase as much as I want to. Let's go ahead and push this line. Hades! Oh, Hades getting taken out by Arachne. Very nicely done. Here's Hebo. Oh, very nice. Some healing from Raw. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, and there's Hell getting pulled in. Hell, we're going to go ahead and hit you with a little bit of cleaving. Cooldown. Charge. There it goes. Oh, my goodness. Hell is so hard to kill. She's doing a really good job of slowing and running and healing. Very nicely done. Honestly, their entire team is doing very well. Our team, not doing bad either, but they're, you know, you definitely have a little bit of the squabbling and the surrender requests going on that boggle my mind. All right, Artemis, try and help out here, displacing her. Cooldown change. Ooh, Raw getting the kill with his ultimate. Very nicely done. Let's get a little bit of health before Evo comes after me. It looks like I'm stuck. And the enemy team has agreed to surrender after we take out 2 Phoenixes and get a deicide. What is it with getting a deicide and people wanting to surrender? It seems to be par for the course. If you get deicided, your team wants to surrender. Even if you're ahead on gold, on kills. It happened here. It's weird. I mean, I admit I wasn't doing as good as I could have. Haven't been playing Smite. Haven't played Tier, but maybe once against a Joust partner. Oh, man. Techno Viking, baby. Yeah, go, boy. Tier, man. New favorite god just because of the Techno Viking. It was a good game, honestly. Liberty Prime, yeah, he's talking to their tier probably. You know, really, that didn't go too bad. It could have been better, certainly, but didn't go bad. Hey, look, I even ended positive, 13 to 12. A little more practice, I think I could really work him. I mean, you saw there's some real potential there. Some good, some good change-ups, some good follow-throughs, but definitely a hard CC counterable character. Now, you can't be locked in place for too long because of your passive, but your charge, easily knocked out of. There were a couple times there I tried to charge and I got feared, or I got knocked in a different direction, or something like that happened. But there were a few times where I was able to push an enemy into a tower, push an enemy out of a tower. I was able to do multiple chases because of the cooldown reduction on the stance switch. I would probably like to pull something together that has some cooldown reduction. You know, maybe Jotun's Wrath, which would give me a bit more penetration. I'm not sure what I would replace. I mean, the Golem, the Ankh of the Golem here, or in this case, Bear. Good item, good attack speed, health, protections. What would I replace, though? Would it be maybe the Frostbound Hammer? Maybe. See, and this is where you get health from this Frostbound Hammer, and you get health from, of course, the Ankh. So that is probably why they chose the other Ankh, the one for the health. But I've been looking online, and a lot of the math seems to suggest that Ankh of the Bear is almost always a better choice, unless you're going for extreme amounts of health, and that usually only happens on tanks. So I decided to go with Bear. I mean, you even saw from the dirty math in the beginning, it was the better choice. And in the end, while it reduced a little bit of my power for my attack stance, it gave me more power for my defensive stance. So since I'm constantly swapping in and out of them, it gave me some decent even power. Instead of being more bursty on one half of my transitions, I was more even keel across the entire fight as I'm swapping between defensive and offensive. But I would still like to put something in here for cooldown reductions. I'm just not entirely sure what I would replace it with. I could probably get rid of the Runic Shield, depending upon what the enemy team was. In this case, they had a Hebo that was taking me out quite a bit, and you had Hades and you had Hell, which were both doing decent amount of magical damage. So I felt that the Runic Shield was the best choice for this encounter. Overall, I like Tyr. He's got some nice moves. He's a very interesting guy to play as, but tough. Definitely tough. Probably not one that I would use more that often, just because I have to really know where my enemy is going for my charges to really work, and I have to make sure that I'm not going to get hard countered against it. So that's something that's going to come with practice, of course. So we'll see. Maybe as I play him a bit, as I am trying to get God Mastery on all the gods eventually. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tyr, the Lawgiver, and another very long match. I don't try to make these overview videos be the long matches, but it seems like that's the way they go anymore. Well, hopefully it was entertaining. Got to try a little bit of my hand at shoutcasting in that match because I was dead. Ah, well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.